Hi! In the previous videos, you have learned a very important skill of solving both homogeneous and non-homogeneous linear differential equations with constant coefficients. And now, starting in this video, we will be studying some practical applications, and you will use that specific problem-solving skill that you have just acquired in solving real-world engineering problems. A system that can be described by a linear differential equation is called a linear system. From the point of view of an engineer, the solution to the differential equation is the response of the system. Thus, if you know how to solve linear differential equations, you would also be able to determine this response, the response of the system. Knowing the response, one can use it to analyze and describe the behavior of the system. In this video, I will teach you how to solve for the complete response of a linear system. So if you're ready, let's get it on. In engineering, differential equations model certain physical systems. And therefore, a physical system can be represented by a differential equation just like this. Oops, this looks familiar. Remember the non-homogeneous LCCDE? Yes, ito yon. So dati, ang ating independent variable ay x. Ngayon naman, the independent variable is t, which represents time. So if you will notice here, all derivatives are taken with respect to t, and still, we have the coefficients which are constants, and on the other side, we have a function f of t. Dati f of x yan, di ba? Ngayon, ano nga ulit ang nire-represent ng differential equation na ito? Itong differential equation na ito kasama yung initial conditions na ibibigay sa problem ang nagre-represent sa isang physical system. Okay? So it could be a mechanical system or an electrical system, or perhaps a combination of them. For example, a motor or a generator, which has both the mechanical and electrical components. That is why we say it's an electromechanical system. Now, dito, sa system na ito, ano ang nire-represent ng f of t? This f of t on the right-hand side of the differential equation is the input of the system. Yun pala yun. Dati, ang tingin lang natin dito, f of t, or dati f of x. Pero yun palang right-hand side na yan, yung term na nasa kanan, which is in terms entirely of the independent variable. This time, the independent variable is t. Yan ang nagsisilbing input sa iyong system. Okay? So you may ask, Sir, kung ang system ay may input, natural dapat yan ay may output. Yes, that is correct. Ngayon, ano ang magre-represent sa output ng system? Ulitin natin ha, itong differential equation na ito, ang nire-represent ay ang system. Ang input ng system ay ang f of t. Ngayon, ano naman ang output ng system? Can you guess? Can you guess? Yes, tama ang hula mo. That's right. Yung solution ng differential equation, yan ang output ng system. And that is the reason why we are solving differential equations. Why? Kasi yung solution niya na y of t, yun ang nagsisilbing output ng system. Okay? Now, the input is sometimes called the excitation, while the output is usually called the response of the system. Ngayon, itong excitation na ito, it could be an input force or an applied voltage or possibly an applied input current. Ngayon, ano naman yung output? That output depends on the quantity that you are measuring. If that is a mechanical system, the output could be the position of the mass at any given time, or perhaps its velocity. Or if it's an electrical system, the output could be the current, or possibly it could be the output voltage or voltage across a certain circuit element. Okay? Now, how do we get the response of the system? Remember again that this response is the solution of the differential equation. And how do we get the total response? If our equation is non-homogeneous, we know that the total response is the sum of the complementary function, that's y of c, and the particular integral. The sum of yc and yp corresponds to the general solution, and that general solution corresponds to the total response of the system. Now, bigyan natin ng kahulugan itong yc. Okay, dati kasi kinukumpute lang natin yan. We do not give meaning to it. But now, we have to give meaning to yc and yp as well. So, ano ang nire-represent ng yc? Remember, this yc is the complementary function, which is the solution of the homogeneous equation. And this is the response of the system that is determined by both the input and the initial conditions. Sir, bakit po input at initial conditions? Okay, later, malilinawan ka kung bakit kasama ang input at initial condition sa pagkuha ng yc. Okay? Another is yp. Kung ang yc ay nakadepende sa parehas na input at initial condition, ang yp naman, ang particular integral, ay nakadepende lamang entirely kung ano yung input na f of t. So once again, yp is the response of the system that is affected only by the input. Alin ba yung input? Alin yung input? Yes! Ito, yung f of t na yan, ang nagsisilbing input doon sa system. And remember, itong y of t na ito, yung solution ng differential equation, ang output ng system. Maliwanag ba yan? Yes! O ngayon, pag-aralan naman natin ang tinatawag na free response ng system. Ano yung free response? Okay. So kapag ang system ay walang input, yung makukuha mong differential equation ay homogeneous. Right? Bakit? Because in that case, f of t will be equal to 0. Makakakuha ka dyan again ng homogeneous na solution. At yung homogeneous solution na makukuha mo, yun ang tinatawag na free response. So we describe the free response as the response of the system when there are no inputs or there are no external excitations. So now, saan lang nakadepende ang free response? Kung wala ka palang input, yan ay nakadepende doon sa initial state ng system. And in turn, the initial state of the system depends on the given initial conditions. So that's the free response. And this free response is sometimes called the natural response of the system. So ayan, parehas lang sila ha. The free response and the natural response, they mean the same thing. Now let us have an illustration para naman maipakita natin kung ano itong free response na ito. O ayan yung system mo. Remember, this is represented by a homogeneous differential equation that comes with some initial conditions. And because it's a free response, there are no inputs. So walang input na makikita dito pero may makukuha tayong output. And that output is called the natural or the free response of the system, which depends only on initial conditions. Maliwanag po ba? Yes! Tanda na, natural or free. Bakit? Kasi natural no? Walang ibang nakaka-apekto sa kanya kung hindi yung initial state ng system. Walang external input, kaya free response ang tawag sa kanya. Ay, wait! Sir, paano pala pag nagkaroon ng input? Okay. Pag nagkaroon dito ng input, may makukuha tayong tinatawag na forced response. Okay? So, ano naman yung forced response? Yan naman ang response ng system na dependent entirely on the input. And we will set all the initial conditions to 0. So if ever there are initial conditions given in the problem, in order to get the forced response, you have to set all the initial conditions to 0 and consider only the input. Okay, so this is the illustration. Here we have the system with some initial conditions which are made 0. Why? Because again, you are interested in solving for the forced response. And in solving for the forced response, it is a requirement that you set the initial conditions to 0. But we will consider the input. And here, we will have an output. So the output that you will get in the absence of all the initial conditions and in the presence only of the input is called the forced response or YF. Okay? So, knowing the forced response and the natural response, which I mentioned in the previous slide, we can now be able to obtain the complete response of the system. Sir, how do I get the complete response? Oh, that's very simple. In order to get the complete response, you just use the principle of superposition and add the two responses, namely the natural response and the forced response, to get the total or the complete response of the system. Okay? So, ang dali lang pala. Sir, kanina nabanggit mo na yung total response Y ay equal sa YC plus YP. Yes, tama iyan. Sir, may tanong me. Anong tanong you? Yun po bang YC at saka YN ay equal? And in the same way, is YP the same as YF? The answer is no. In British accent. No, no, no. Why? YC is not exactly the same as the natural response. These two are not exactly the same. They're not identical in the same way that YP and YF are also not the same. So remember, YC is not exactly the same as the natural response. In the same way, the particular integral is not identical to the forced response. However, if the system has no inputs at all, okay, so that means ang makukuha mo lang response sa kanya ay free response. Yeah, right. Remember again that if the system has no input, ang makukuha mo lang sa kanya ay ang kanyang natural response. And that is why this YN and YC will be the same. Again, that is only if the system has no input. Only then can your complementary function be the same as the natural response. This is your complementary function and this is your natural response. Again, kailan sila equal? Equal lang sila kung ang system ay walang input. Napakagaling. Ngayon, bukod sa natural response, tinatawag din yan na zero input response. Bakit? Kasi nga po, pag kinukuha mo ang natural response, lahat ng input ginagawa mong zero. Kaya zero input response. While the forced response is called the zero state response. Why? Because pag nagko-compute ka ng forced response, yung initial state ng system ay ginagawa mong zero. Kasi sinizero mo ang initial conditions. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya, zero state response. O di ba? Andali lang. Kaya ngayon, you can also write the complete response of the system, which is Y, as a sum of the zero input and the zero state response. This time, YN and YZI, they are the same. And likewise, YF is identical to YZS. O, di ba? Madali lang. Ngayon, para mas ma-appreciate mo ang mga bagay na ito, bibigyan kita ng isang motivational example. Motivational. Halimbawa, we have a system that is represented by this initial value problem. So here, I have a second order linear differential equation with constant coefficients 1, 5, and 6. And the right-hand side is a constant, right? It's just 12, meaning the input to this system is a constant na ang value ay 12. Remember, the right-hand side corresponds to the input. So therefore, kung yan ay 12 na constant, constant yung input sa system. At ito yung initial conditions niya. Diba? O ngayon, paano natin kukuhanin na kanyang complete response? O di madali lang. Una, gamit tayo ng conventional method na itinuro ko sa inyo, no? Yung alam nyo. So, kukuha tayo ng YC, and after that, kukunin natin yung YP, i-add mo, pag na-add mo sila, yun na yung complete response ng system, di ba? Because it represents the general solution. So, now, hanapin muna natin yung YC. Okay? For YC, ang auxiliary equation ay m squared plus 5m plus 6 equals 0. And because of that, may makukuha tayong roots. Pag pinaktor mo yan, m plus 2 at saka m plus 3, right? So, ilalagay ko dito, ang M1 ay negative 2 at ang M2 ay negative 3. And since we have two distinct roots, di ba, case 1 yan, ano ang ating YC? Our YC would have the form C1e raised to negative 2t plus C2e raised to negative 3t. O, di ba? Ang dali lang. Ngayon, after ng YC, hanapin naman natin ang kanyang YP. So, kung ang input natin ay isang constant, yung YP natin, i-represent din natin gamit ang isang constant. Now, pag kinuha mo naman ang first derivative nito at second derivative at isa-substitute mo dito, lahat yun ay 0. Di ba? So, pag nag-substitute ka dyan, 6 times YP is equal to 12. And obviously, our YP will be 2. O, di ba? Ang dali lang. So, meron na tayong YC, meron ka pang YP. Kaya, pwede mo nang isulat ang general solution. Ay, isulat natin. The general solution is y equals, kopyahin natin tong YC. C1e raised to negative 2t plus C2e raised to negative 3t plus 2. Okay? So, yan na yung general solution natin. Ngayon, since we are given some initial conditions, makukuha natin ang values ng C1 at ng C2. However, before natin yan gawin, kailangan ko munang makuha ang y prime. Bakit? Kasi meron tayong condition para sa y prime. Kaya kukuhanin ko muna ito ng y prime. So, the first derivative of this is negative 2 C1 e raised to negative 2t. Ay, minus 3c2. Minus 3 C2 e raised to negative 3t. Derivative ng constant, 0. So ngayon, pwede ko nang i-apply ang initial conditions. Anong sinasabi niya? Kapag daw ang x ay equal sa 0, ang y ay equal sa 1. So dito, kapag ginawa nating 0 yung t, ang matitira lang C1 plus C2 plus 2. Diba? C1 plus C2 plus 2 equals, ay! Ano yung y? Ayun, 1. O, diba? Ang dali lang. Next, when x is, I'm sorry, mali. Dapat ito ay t. Kasi ang independent variable natin ay t na. Okay? Next, when t is equal to 0, y prime is equal to negative 1. So, dito, magiging, ang matitira na lang is negative 2, C1 minus 3C2 equals negative 1. Grabe, I had to stop because the rain was falling too hard and you might hear the noise being picked up by the microphone. So I had to stop. Now it's gone. Let's continue. Charot! So from these two equations, if we solve this simultaneously, we can get the values of C1 and C2. Okay, gamit na lang tayo ng calculator para ma-solve yan quickly. Okay, mode 5. Two equations, two unknowns. For the first equation, the coefficients are 1 and 1. And on the right side, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. For the second equation, the coefficients are negative, I can multiply the entire equation by negative 1 so that all the terms will be positive. 2, 3, and 1. Now, the values of C1 and C2 are negative 4 and 3. Okay? So, C1 is negative 4 and C2 is 3. And because of that, I can now rewrite this general solution which corresponds to the response of the system. Okay? Sulat natin dito. Therefore, the response of the system is y equals, okay, yung c sub 1 e to the negative 2t. Pero yung C1, negative 4. So, unahin ko na lang yung C2 para magandang tingnan. Right? So, C2, which is 3, e raised to negative 3t minus itong C1 whose value is 4, negative 4, e raised to negative 2t plus 2. Okay? So, this is now the complete response of the system. Ngayon, papapansin din natin na sa kompletong response na ito, meron tayong dalawang decaying exponentials. Meaning, itong part na ito ang tinatawag nating transient response. Yan. Ito yung y trans natin. Okay, again, this y trans is the transient response, and this constant term here is our YSS. What is YSS? The steady state response. Okay? Di ba? Ang dali lang. So that means, pwede pala din natin sabihin na ang complete response ng system ay ang sum ng transient response at saka steady state response. Yes. So, nagkataon na sa example na ito, nagkataon lang ha, na sa example na ito, yung YC, yun yung transient response natin. And yung YP, yun ang ating steady state response. Nagkataon lang yun. But that is not always the case. Okay? Ngayon, uulitin natin yung solution ng problem na ito using a different approach. An approach which is called the systems approach. Ito yung pang-engineering. Bakit? Kasi kung ikaw ay engineer, sometimes you would be interested to know separately the forced and the free response. Sir, hindi ko ba malalaman yung free response at saka forced response dito? Ay hindi. Bakit? Can you say that these two terms, itong 3e to the negative 3t minus 4e to the negative 2t, itong term na ito, masasabi mo ba na yan ang kanyang natural response? No. At masasabi mo ba na ito ang kanyang forced response? No. Using this solution, you can get the complete response, but you cannot distinguish kung alin dito ang natural at saka ang forced. At sa engineering, minsan yun ay mahalaga kasi interesado tayo alin ang forced at alin ang natural. Kaya, gamit ang systems approach na ito, uulitin natin yung problem at ipapakita natin na yung makukuha nating complete response kagaya lang nung kanina. Okay? So, anong una natin gagawin? Ang una mong gawin, hanapin mo muna ang kanyang natural response. Okay? So, isulat natin dito for the natural response. Yn. So, kailangan ko ng auxiliary equation. Eh, di ba, yung auxiliary equation naman is kagaya lang din ng kanina. Kasi yung differential equation ko lang na i-consider is itong differential equation na ito, equate ko lang sa 0. And I will use the same initial condition. Right? Okay. So, ulitin ko nga, no? I-rewrite ko na y double prime plus 5y prime plus 6y equals 0. Bakit nga 0? Kasi pag kino-compute ang natural response, walang input. Pero ito pa rin yung gagamitin mong initial conditions. So yung auxiliary equation, kagaya lang din ng kanina. And therefore, yung makukuha nating yn ay kagaya lang din ng kanina. C sub 1, e raised to negative 2t plus c sub 2e raised to negative 3t. Okay? Now, pwede na natin agad kuhanin yung C1 at saka C2 gamit yung initial conditions. Pero bago ko i-substitute ang mga initial conditions, hanapan ko muna yan ng expression para sa y prime. Kasi kailangan natin dito yung y prime. Diba? So, negative 2C1 e raised to negative 2t minus 3C2 e raised to negative 3t. Yan yung y prime natin. Ngayon, kapag sabi niya, ang x ay, or ang t, rather, ang t ay 0, when t is equal to 0, y equals 1. Lagay natin dito. So, ito magiging C1 na lang, plus ito magiging C2. Equals, may matitira dito na 1. Yan. Next, kapag ka ang t ay 0, at ang y prime ay negative 1, rather, ang matitira dito ay negative 2C1 minus 3C2 equals negative 1. Okay? So, again, gamit ang calculator, isosolve natin ang dalawang equations na ito para makuha ang solution. Palitan ko lang ha. 1, 1, 1. Yan, nagbago yun. Tapos, sa Okay, 2, 3, 1. Multiply ko na lang siya at lahat ng negative 1. So, parehas lang yan, no? So, ang makukuha sa sagot ay 2 at saka negative 1. C1 is 2 and C2 is negative 1. Therefore, my natural response, Yn, is yan. So, C1, ito yun, which is 2. E raised to negative 2t, tapos C2, which is negative 1. So, minus na lang. Minus E raised to negative 3t. Okay? So, meron na tayong natural response. Next, kuhanin naman natin ang forced response. For the forced response, i-consider natin ang differential equation na ito. So, kopyahin ko lang siya ha. Y double prime plus 5y prime plus 6y equals 12. But this time, yung initial conditions ko ay parehas dapat 0. Diba? So, dahil umuulan na naman, I have to pause. Okay? Grabe yung ulan, galit na galit. Kaloka. Okay, so ituloy na natin ang pagsosolve. Nakakaloka yung ulan. May masama pang balita. Diyos ko. Yung classmate ko ng college namatay daw. Kailangan matapos ko na to ngayon. I need to grieve. Ang lang ko tuloy. Anyway, life must go on. Dalawang college friends ko na yung namatay. Yung best friend ko at saka itong isa ko pang close na friend. Oh my God. 2020 can't get any worse. My God. Okay. Since our differential equation is a non-homogeneous LCCDE, then it follows that YF should be a sum of YC and YP. Now, for YC, hindi na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik. Kopyahin ko lang to. Bakit? Kasi po, kapag ito'y ginawa kong homogeneous, ang makukuha kong roots mula sa auxiliary equation ay negative 2 at negative 3 din. So, YC is C1e raised to negative 2t plus C2e raised to negative 3t. And for YP, obviously, yung YP na yan ay equal lang din sa 2. Kagaya nung nakuha natin kanina. Bakit? Kasi po, kapag inirepresent ko yan as A, yung A na yun ay constant, ang first derivative at second derivative nun ay 0. So, ang matitira lang is 6 times yung YP is equal to 12. That's why YP is 12 over 6 or YP is equal to 2. Diba? Madali lang. O, ngayon, may makukuha na akong YF. Okay? Yung YF natin ay pwede na nating isulat as a sum of YC, this one and this. Kopyahin ko lang. C1e raised to negative 2t plus C2e raised to negative 3t plus 2. Okay? Now, para makuha yung C1 at C2, i-impose natin ang initial conditions na ngayon ay 0 na. Bakit? It's a requirement that if you are solving for the forced response, you have to make all the initial conditions 0. Okay? So, kunan ko muna siya ng YF prime. YF prime equals, bakit? Kasi ayan, no, may Y prime dito. Negative 2, C1 e raised to negative 2t minus 3 times C2 e raised to negative 3t. Okay? So, let's apply the conditions that when t is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So, mag-substitute tayo dito. Ang matitira dyan is C1 plus C2 plus 2 equals 0. And when t is equal to 0, y prime is also 0. Kasi nga, parehas initial condition ay 0. Diba? So, dito may matitirang negative 2C1 minus 3C2 equals 0. So, by solving for the values of C1 and C2 using a calculator, i-input natin 1, 1, tapos ito magiging negative 2. 1, 1, negative 2, tapos equation 2, negative 2, negative 3, 0. So, multiply ko na lang yan ng negative 1, parehas. So, 2, 3, 0 pa rin yung kabila. Diba? So, ang sagot, negative 6 at 4. So, C1 is negative 6 and C2 equals 4. So, now, pwede na nating isulat ang YF. Ito, i-rewrite ko lang siya as negative 6 e raised to negative 2t. Ito yun. Plus 4e raised to negative 3t plus 2. So, since hindi na kasya, tuloy natin yan sa next slide. Doon natin kukumputin or i-add yung dalawang to para makuha natin yung complete response. Okay? So, for the complete response, y is equal to yn plus yf, right? And that is equal to ito yung yn at ito yung yf. So, 2 plus negative 6 is negative 4. Okay? So, we have negative 4e raised to negative 2t. And then, negative 1 plus 4 is 3. So, plus 3e raised to negative 3t. And finally, ito. Plus 2. Okay? So, this is now our complete response, which again contains 2 decaying exponentials, which means that itong part na ito, again, ang ating y trans or transient response, at itong constant term na to, yan ang YSS or steady state response. Ito tanda ko, ito talaga yan. Now, let us compare this. Okay? Kung kagaya nung kanina, negative 4e to the negative 2t at 3e to the negative 3t. Let us see. Okay? Negative 4. Ay! Magkagaya nga. Ayan. So, we were able to show that whether you use YC plus YP or YN plus YF, yung makukuha mong complete response, parehas lang. But what is the advantage of using the systems approach? The advantage is you get to know which is the natural and which one is the forced response. As we can see here, ayan, ito yung natural at ito yung forced. So we can conclude that the natural response contains a portion of the transient response. And likewise, the forced response also contains a portion of the transient response. Plus, it contains entirely the steady state response na makikita natin dito. Diba? So, sa madaling sabi, itong transient response ay nabahagi. May part ng transient na nasa YN at may part ng transient na nasa YF. O, diba? Madali lang? Now, let us summarize this motivational example. Okay? Lagay natin dito yung complementary function. Yung nakuha nating sagot kanina is ito. And that complementary function is the response that is obtained from both IC and f of t. So ngayon natin lilinawin, bakit yung YC ay nakadepende sa initial condition at sa f of t? Bakit po? Okay, let us see. Tingnan natin ha. Balik tayo dun sa slide kanina. Which slide is that? Diba ito yung YC natin? Paano natin nalaman yung values ng C1 here at saka yung C2? Diba? Kinuha natin yung values ng C1 at C2 nung na-add na natin yung YC at saka yung YP. Ito yung YC at saka yung YP. So, nung kinuha mo yung value ng C1 at C2, ginamit mo yung initial conditions na Y of 0 at Y prime of 0. Kaya sabi natin, itong part na ito, nakadepende sa initial conditions. And at the same time, nung kin-compute mo yung value ng C1 at ng C2, present itong 2. And this 2 is obtained from the input na 12. Palitan mo yung 12, magbabago rin yung 2. At pag pinalitan mo tong 2 na to, mababago yung C1 at saka C2. Diba? Kaya, sinasabi natin na itong complementary function na ito ay nakadepende sa parehas f of t at saka initial condition. Samantalang yung namang particular integral, nakadepende lang sa input. Okay? Na f of t. Now, puntahan natin yung natural response. Paano kinukuha ang natural response? Ito yung natural response na nakuha natin. It is purely transient, right? Kasi nga, pareha silang decaying exponentials. But getting the natural response, we make the input 0. Okay? We turn off the input. There are no inputs, and we only consider the initial conditions. Now, for the forced response, ito yung nakuha natin forced response. It contains a portion of the transient response at yung entire steady state response. Okay? So once again, the forced response can be obtained by setting all the initial conditions to 0 and using only the given input. Now, the complete response is the sum of these two, na equal din kapag inad mo itong dalawang ito. Yan na yung total response, which shows us the complete transient response and the steady state response. Okay? So that's it. I hope na naintindihan niyo yung topic natin for today. And for the next topics na inyong pag-aaralan, magagamit nyo ito. So sa applications, ang ipapahanap ko na sa inyo, ano ang natural response at ano ang forced response. Gagamitin nyo yan para makuha yung total response ng system. Until the next lecture video, bye!